Welcome to Creating Curiosity with Your Content. I am your host, Sue Pinky Benson. I am a real estate agent for more than 15 years, and I have been using video and social media to grow my business, and I do know that it works. So as we get started here today, we are diving into next year right now. So I don't know when you're watching this, but we're talking about 2025, and we're talking about creating content that gets the curiosity sparked and the conversations started. So I hope you enjoy this 60-minute webinar. We're going to go down the rabbit hole. So if you see the Alice in Wonderland theme, that is why we are getting, because when I think about curiosity, I think about this guy, okay? Like the curiosity that got the cat, right? So if you'd like to follow me, I highly encourage you to do so. As a real estate agent, please go look at Pinky Knows Naples on Instagram. Hit that follow button. I give out all kinds of tips, tricks, and techniques on using social media to grow your brand and your business. Now, before we dive in, before we get into that rabbit hole, we want to understand why showing up on social media with value is going to be so important for our industry in 2025. All right, here is the thing, my friends. All right, we have been scrutinized. We have, as of August, had to change our entire way of doing business. For many of us, it is a huge leap. I'm in Florida, and I can tell you we never had buyers brokers agreements before that were mandatory and people had to sign. And we are seeing a pushback on that. And when we look at the lawsuit and the settlement, the thing that comes to me that I see out of this entire thing is value. We as agents are not showing up with our value, and they think, they being the consumers, we should be free or we should be doing this at a reduced price. And our social media is not helping us to show up with value. What do I mean by that? Well, as agents, we default. Just listed, just sold, just doing an open house, just went pending. That's the type of content we put up on whatever platform you're on, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We feel like, oh, if I show you I'm doing my job, then you'll know I'm doing my job and that I'm doing my job well. So then I'm going to put up an award to show you how much money I've made this year. I get it. I've been there. I've done it all. What I can tell you is that it's not showing the value. It's showing us off to the consumer who's just scrolling, doom scrolling through social media. Oh, there she goes. She got another job, or she got another listing. Oh, okay. And she sold it. Oh, she made some money today. Right? You're not showing your expertise. You're not showing your knowledge. Many of you have been at this for a long time. You have an outlook and an opinion. You have insight that others don't. Why are you hiding it? Why are you hiding it behind a post that says just listed? You have got to start showing up with your voice. As we move into 2025, the way the algorithms are working, they want you to show up in front of the camera and give your voice. So this little video I'm about to show you is an example of what happened in August. In August, when the big switch happened for the buyer's brokers agreement, and everybody had to sign the agreement before they stepped into the house. Like I said, I know in parts of America that was already standard, so it wasn't a big shift for you. But the important thing, as an agent here in Florida, I can tell you is that I knew that my audience was going to push back, that they were going to say, well, I've never had to do that before. And, when I bought a house in California, I didn't have to do that. When I bought a house in Boston, I didn't have to do that. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to get together with some of my like-minded individuals. These are all of my Instagram toodlees. We'll talk about that here in a moment. And I'm going to show you the video that we created together. No talking involved, but value is there. Versus a post like this on social media. Cancellation on my listing this morning because a buyer wouldn't sign a buyer broker agreement with their realtor. You're feeding the negativity with a post like this. You're not educating, you're complaining. This isn't helping our industry. This isn't going to provide value of understanding that, hey, everybody's got to do it. It doesn't matter if you switch real estate agents, you're still going to have to sign it. This video we created, I took the video, I shared it on social media. I shared it to some local news stations who were covering the story that day. Within an hour of the post, the local news station had called me and asked me to do an interview on the topic. What was in this video that really made them think? Let's see. That was it, dropping some house keys. I'm sure you've seen this video before, people highlighting their referral partners. It's a great way to do that. But I wanted it to be, hey, across America, no matter where you are, this is a change that affects every single American who is looking to buy a home. Don't overthink a simple video like that. It gets you attention, it gets you value, and you can highlight your referral partners at the same time. You can highlight your team. You can highlight, and when I say team, I work with my husband, Josh, but my team is my mortgage broker, my title company, my inspector. Like, that is an entire team. So if you're a solo agent, don't say, I don't have a team to highlight. I'm new. I don't have any referral partners. Look for them. They're out there. And I know, as I said before, the proof is in the pink pudding. I'm not one that likes to go over my accolades, but I also realize that there are a lot of speakers out there, a lot of people in the field of education that really don't have the experience. Maybe they're, in a, let's just say, mortgage field, and they're doing a class on how to do videos, and yet they don't even use videos because they're just trying to get in front of real estate agents. I'm just being honest. I'm a very direct person. I want you to know that out of all of the accolades and crap out there, I'm an actual real estate agent. I'm practicing every single day, listings, buyers, negotiations. And I know that we get super busy, and thinking and being creative about social media can be super hard, but it doesn't have to be if you just time block a little bit of your week to saying, okay, I'm going to sit down and think about what could I create content around this week? Because I had to do it every single day when I'm out in the field showing properties. How can I use this to educate my audience? And one last thing before we dive down that rabbit hole, VIP coaching with Pinky. So I do a couple of different things. Number one, I do have an online course that is dedicated to real estate agents who want to learn Instagram. So if you want to do it yourself and you want to go through all my wonderful video modules, I have a whole bunch of video modules, including bonus modules on quick tips and tricks and techniques for using Instagram, everything from how to add a caption to the location sticker, all that good stuff. Plus my video 101 editing for real estate agents wanting to do reels. That's in my on-demand course. But I do have VIP IG coaching, Instagram coaching that I open up just a few times a year. And I take only a hand-selected few agents through a 6-week. We do Zoom lives every week for about 90 to 120 minutes. And we dive into the different sections of Instagram and how you as a real estate agent should be using them to build your brand and your business. That also includes the access to my online course, my monthly webinar masterminds workshops that we do every second Thursday of every month. That also includes my private Instagram page or group for my fabulous Tootlies. That's how you become an official Pinky Tootlie, is through the VIP coaching. That also includes my private Instagram stories. Did you know there were private Instagram stories? Yep, private Instagram stories. And on top of that, during the 6 weeks, I am watching all of your content, from your posts to your reels, to your stories, to your lives, and I am giving you feedback that maybe, just maybe, you might find helpful. So if you're interested, scan the QR code, let me know, and I'll let you know when the next opening for VIP coaching starts. So let's do this. Let's dive into creating curiosity with your content. Now, usually this presentation I have done all year on stage because I absolutely love it. And I get to kind of have an Alice in Wonderland themed outfit, and I get really excited about it. So I can't tell you, I've never done it as a webinar before. I don't know how I'm going to be. Let's just go down this rabbit hole and see what happens. Now, as we get started and as we go through this presentation, I want to point out that this presentation was inspired last year when I went to a wonderful workshop. It was a 2-day workshop with Renee Funk. And she is a certified guide for exactly what to say. If you ever have the opportunity to do the actual workshop, amazing thing to do. But this book, Exactly What to Say by Phil M. Jones, it's for real estate agents. So make sure you're looking at the For Real Estate. You can get it on Amazon, pretty inexpensive. This book is great for helping you verbalize through your subject lines, through the way you speak, through the questions you ask, everything. It inspired this entire presentation. So let's talk about the keyword. What is the key word for social media? It's not the number of followers you have. It's not the number of friends you have on Facebook. It is not the views that you have on a video. Okay, it's not. I know we get hung up on the views and there is a certain amount of measure in that, but that's not it. You can have the maximum number of friends on Facebook at 5,000, but if you're not connecting with them, if you're not touching them, if you're not in a relationship of some kind, conversation, is it worth the 5,000, or is it better to have the 100 that you know? And really go deep on that. Let's see what my friend, I don't know him, Fraser Brooks has to say about this.
Don't always focus on growing your follow account. Focus on growing that connection, because connection is going to be a key word for next year. Because the more connected you are with the world, the more chance you're going to get to recruit the world. If you're not connected with people properly, why would they join you? This is why telling stories is so important. You tell a story of emotion, you tell a story of seriousness, of commitment, of focus, of courage, of confidence. Someone is going to watch that and go, wow, okay, got it.
Do you understand what he said? If you tell a story, story brings value. Story brings connection. Story shows your knowledge, your expertise. All right. Oh, I went backwards. So as we move into 2025, I want you to really think about, who are these connections? How can I go beyond? How can I get to know some of these people I don't know on Facebook that I'm friends with? Maybe I should comment. Maybe I should direct message. Maybe I should change my feed. I do that every day as I go in, because the algorithm feeds me the people that it thinks I like to see. But if you go into Facebook, you can hit a button that says change feed, go over to your feeds, hit your friends, and it will put it in chronological order of when they posted, the time. So the most recent post will pop up. And guess what? You're going to see people you haven't seen in years. It's a good time to go in and say, hey, how do I know them? Let me comment. Let me check in on them. Because again, it's not the number of followers. It's not the number of views. It's connecting. We humans, we want to be seen and we want to be heard. How can we continue that connection? As we move into 2025, I implore you, please stop. If I go to your Instagram page and you go, I get nothing out of Instagram, and all I see is just listed, just sold, just a listing, just another, a happy holidays with your generic graphic and, a balloon because I'm Remix, or whatever. That's why your page isn't growing. Would you follow you? What is interesting? What is educational? What is of any, what am I going to do to hit that follow button? There's nothing there. There's nothing there. So you have to stop solely selling your products and your services. Stop solely. That doesn't mean you have to not do it. It means you need other content. So you want to find content that attracts, nurtures, and converts that ideal follower. Think about your own behaviors on social media. When you're doom scrolling, what makes you stop? What is it? Is it a just listed post? Why? What happened in that particular just listed post that caught your attention? When you stopped to watch a video, why did you stop to watch that video when there were other videos? What grabbed your attention? And then watch what you do. Do you hit the like? Do you comment? Do you share it? Do you hit the follow button? It's getting harder and harder to get people to do that, but it doesn't mean that you're not being seen. I love Alice. If I had a world of my own, everything would be nonsense. And I completely agree. I would love to have a world of nonsense, especially on social media like it used to be. But I now know that I am my brand, and part of my brand is real estate, and my brand is showing up with value, educational, inspirational. Does that mean you can't show up on Facebook and share a picture of your kids? Of course not. Like, of course you can put the personal into it. But to really grow your business, these are the pillars that you need to ask yourself when you go to make that post. Am I providing value to them? Or am I providing any kind of education? Just sold. Okay, well, you've educated them and you sold something. Was there a hurdle that you could have addressed that maybe might be interesting or educational? What about inspirational? That just sold. Maybe that's the first home they bought after 30 years of saving and trying. Is there inspiration in the story? But we need to stay curious. We need to also focus on what are our followers creating. We need to be curious about them and curious about creating better content. And it doesn't matter if this is Facebook that is your homepage, Instagram is where you hang your hat, YouTube is where you're all in, LinkedIn, TikTok. The strategy, even though the algorithms are different, is the same. So we're going down the beautiful rabbit hole. Here we go, Alice. Here we go. The first step is probably the most basic thing, but you have forgotten about it. Are you asking questions of your audience to get engaged with them and to get to know them better? Who is your audience? I'm asking you right now. Do you know who your audience is? Just like if I said to you in your real estate business, if you look back at this last year, who was your customer? Where did they come from? How did you get them? Is there a common denominator between them? I can tell you right now that on Instagram, my ideal follower is a woman who is over 40, real estate agent from anywhere in the world who has an interest in growing their social media. I know who my followers are. I engage with them on a regular basis. I'm about to say something that probably is going to be eye-opening to you, and it may even make you go, oh my gosh, off with her head, off with her head. But hear me out. If you are solely creating the content that starts with the word I, you go into Facebook. I'm so excited for my clients. My clients. I'm so excited. My clients. They just sold their house. I'm so happy for them. I'm glad I could be the agent of their choice. I. My. Right? Or I just won this award. I can't tell you how humbled I am. Are you humbled? When you go to write your post on Facebook, Instagram, any platform, starting with the word I, you type it out, I am, stop yourself. Rewind. Say, how can I take this and turn my I into a you? For example, did you know that selling a home right now is harder than it was in 2021? These customers were so awesome. They went through 30 days on the market, 60, I'm at, I think 90 days on market, right? Change it from did you know? How can you make it about you? Like if you say, I love pizza, what if you change it and said, do you love pizza? Where's your favorite pizza place? My favorite pizza place is bloppity blop, and this is why. It's okay to bring it in after you've asked your audience, but you got to start asking them questions. Now, I'm just going to pause here for a second and give you a little bit of a story here. All right. Oh, forgive me. I'm trying to move myself around, so I'm up here by the Mad Hatter. Here we go. We're going to talk about conversation starters for a moment. Do you remember, if you're old enough, what the living room was actually for? The living room was for guests. At least it was in my house. When people came over, sometimes unexpected, just at the door, and you were like, oh my gosh, somebody's here. Yay, break out the pound cake, right? We would go into the living room, or the adults would go into the living room, and they would have conversations. They would catch up, they would talk. And they actually had in these rooms, at least we did in my house, but years and years, they had things called conversation starters. In my house, it was even before the phonograph. So like first there was a record, well, not first, last there was a record player, right? So if you remember the record player, before that there was a phonograph, and then before that there was another thing. And this other thing, which I can't even say how you say it correctly, basically it was the beginning of a phonograph. Was this huge box, it was made out of like really nice wood, right? It was huge. And they had these gigantic metal discs with holes all the way around it, okay? And then you would put it inside of this box, and there was a needle, and the needle, so it was like, and it played music, and it was like, and oh my gosh, I remember my grandmother's boyfriend, he was in his 70s when my parents acquired this, and they played it for the first time for him, and he started crying because it reminded him of when he was a child in Germany and his mother had one and she played it. Personally, I don't know why my parents were ever upset about me playing rock and roll, because that thing sounded a whole lot screechier than Bon Jovi, but I digress. That musical box, the phonograph or whatever you want to call it, that was a conversation starter in the room. So when somebody came over to visit and there might be a lull in the conversation, they would bring up the story of how Ernie would cry when he came over and we played it, and where it came from and how they acquired it. We've gotten away from conversation starters, and it's really simple things. For example, when you go out to a party, do you walk up to someone and say, hi, I'm Sue. I'm a real estate agent. I've been here for 15 years. I just sold a property over on Nectar Woods. I'm amazing because I also have this award. Of course not. Of course not. At least I hope not. You walk up to them and, maybe you start talking to them and you say, hey, so how long have you lived in Naples? And I'm just saying Naples because that's where I live. You insert wherever you live, right? But are you a Naples native? Where did you live before you came to Naples? Simple, easy questions that you can post on social media that will get you engagement. I'm not kidding. If your audience is your town, and those are the people that are following you on these platforms, when you ask these questions, they are going to be more than happy to respond. It's a basic question. There's no politics, religion, or congratulations needed. It's are you a Naples native? How long have you lived here? You don't need a graphic either. Let me show you how to use this. On Facebook, I know a lot of you are huge Facebook fans. Color block text. It stops the scroll. Now, you can't write out a whole biography about yourself like, I've been living in Naples for 45 years and blah. No, you have to keep it this simple, and then you just pick the little color behind it. And they have all kinds of different ones during the holidays. Sometimes they have the different, Valentine's Day or Christmas trees or what have you. But you're just going to do something simple like this. Say, before you lived in Naples, where did you live? No graphic required. But you could also do it, say, in a simple Instagram story. Just use it in the text. I have, oh my gosh, the response. I'm going to show you examples today. Here are the examples. I told you, how do you use it in a story? All right, so I want you to pay attention. So this is very simple. I had a photo from when I went up to visit my family in Cleveland. We went to see the Christmas Story House. This was years ago. So my children are all grown up now. I have shorter hair and Josh is a little grayer. Oh, and I'm not pink as much as I am in that photo. So it doesn't matter when the photo is. Don't feel like, oh, I got to go out and get a photo right now to post it. I pulled this out of my camera roll. All right. I was introducing myself to my audience and I just said, you know, I was born in Cleveland. This is the Christmas Story House. Okay. Now, I was born in Cleveland. Yes, that's an I statement. All right. However, the question there, where did you move from? That is for them. That's the engagement. That's what we call an engagement sticker. When we refer to stickers, that's one of the stickers. Over there, I have my husband, raised in Naples by way of Chicago. What did my audience just learn? I'm from Cleveland. My husband has grown up here, and he also was born probably in Chicago or has some sort of tie to Chicago. I've given my audience 3 places. Do you know how much people love to talk about where they're from? Oh, back when I was in Ohio, blah, blah, blah. Oh, where did you live in Cleveland? And I'm going to tell you a story just about how this was a conversation starter. In this story, I did a poll sticker, another engagement sticker to really get things going in stories. How long have you lived here? This is great insight as a real estate agent. Look at the results. Seasonally, 31% of people are here. 0 to 5, 48%. 0 to 5, 5 to 20 years, 19, and lifelong resident was like almost nil. I think I had one person tell me they were a lifelong resident. So what does that tell me as a real estate agent? My content should be for newbies in Naples who want to know more about the town. How can I help newbies in Naples know more about Naples? Do you see how you can take the information and use it? Then I did a little more introduction of myself. And I just said, hey, yeah, I'm a real estate agent. And I also speak and educate real estate agents on how to use video and social media for their marketing in 2025. So yes, I am talking about myself, but I'm including my audience in the conversation. I'm getting to know them. So quick little story here. I was on stage earlier this year and doing this presentation, and I got to the end of the presentation, and this older lady in the front row raises her hand and she says, oh, I have a question. And so I'm thinking, okay, she's going to ask me like how to log into Instagram or how to create an account or, you know, something along those lines. And she says, where are you from in Ohio? Where in Cleveland? And I said, oh, just a little area, Mentor, Paynesville area. She goes, I'm from Mentor, Paynesville. I said, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. I rarely meet anybody. And I said, you know, my father and my grandfather were residential builders there. And they did a lot of the homes there. So she goes, who's your father? And I said, Roy Slayton. And she said, your father built my house. And that just in that moment, we had this huge connection. All because you asked a question, where are you from? We humans love the connection. Don't make it all about you. So now at this point, maybe you're tapping your foot saying, really, Pinky? Is this what I signed up for? Is it really this simple? It can be, but we're about to dive deeper into the rabbit hole. I want to introduce something amazing. It's called Google. If you haven't done Google, I don't know where you've been, but I want to show you a way to come up with questions and content from Google. I'm going to give you some prompts to use in Google. Now, I went in and typed in Naples, Florida, because why? That's where I am. You, however, are going to type in where you are, okay? You're going to type in Hoboken, Iowa. I don't even know if that's a place, but I always say it. Now, I want you to see, as I go in, it tells me these are what people are frequently searching in relationship to Naples, Florida. The first one, Naples, Florida weather. Well, what do I care about the weather? I'm a real estate agent. Oh, you care about the weather because now you're going to have people commenting from other parts of the country. I just did this recently because we had this cold snap go through, and I said it's 47 in Naples this morning. What's it in your neck of the woods? Using color block text, no graphic. I had over 100 comments of people not only telling me the temperature and where they are, but pictures of snow and weather and all kinds of things. So why is that good? One, it's lighting up your algorithm. People that comment will then get your stuff served to them more. Number two, people that you don't think, that don't usually show up and comment on your stuff, will show up and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I haven't heard from you in forever. And that's exactly what you're going to do. How have you been? How is Hoboken, Iowa? And they go, oh, well, you know what? We're getting a job relocation and we're thinking about going to Hawaii now. And you go, you know what? If you're going to Hawaii, I have an agent there. If you need any help, if you have any questions about how real estate's working. Now, you're not going to hook them right away, okay? I'm just giving you an example of how the conversations get started. Naples, Florida hotels. What could you ask? What's your favorite hotel in Naples? I got clients coming to town. What is your favorite hotel? So now you've told them you have clients coming to town. So, oh, she's working. You've also said you go above and beyond. You're adding some more value because you do more than just, hey, come to town, show you a house. And people love to tell you these things. Oh my gosh, I stayed at the Edgewater. It was beautiful. It's right on the beach. Here's what I liked about it. It was affordable, whatever. I'm going to tell you this next one, Naples, Florida beaches. That one, I have created videos around the best beaches. Boom, yeah. Gets me views and comments, engagements, saves every single time. And I have a way of taking that topic and pulling it slowly into real estate. Maybe not so slowly. But you could ask simply, what is your favorite beach and why in the area? Go in, type in your city, your state, and scroll down to see what are other people searching for. Another prompt, another search that you're going to do is real estate, Naples, Florida, or your city and state. You're going to type that in. Then you're going to go down and you're going to get to this section again that says people also ask. So these are top questions that people are putting into Google about real estate in your town. So number one, are prices dropping in Naples, Florida? Let me ask you right now, if I bumped into you at the grocery store and I said to you, so are prices dropping in town right now? Have you seen that? Would you be able to answer that question with your opinion, your expertise, without a script? I would wager you could. That's content. Yeah, that's content right there. You could do a quick reel. You could put that up on your Facebook page and include your opinion. You don't have to do a video if you don't want to. Is buying a house in Naples, Florida a good investment? Your opinion. What makes a good investment in your town? That's going to be different. Like what I think is a good investment might be different than what my husband thinks. He's a real estate agent too. What he thinks is a good investment. He's allowed to have his opinion. I'm allowed to have mine. Where is the best place to live in Naples, Florida? Could you do content? Like, could you ask that question? First of all, what's your favorite neighborhood in Naples, Florida? Could you just put that up as a color block text or in a story? Sure, you could do that and get engagement. It also gives you a lot of content ideas. But could you do, what is the best place to live in Naples, Florida? What is the best neighborhood to live in Naples, Florida? And you could do that on a weekly basis every Friday, highlighting. Or you can say real quick, what are the top 4 or 5 best neighborhoods, most popular neighborhoods my clients love in Naples, Florida. And you don't even have to talk. You can just put up B-roll of Naples or your community, and you just put, here are the top 5 that my clients love. Do. Which one am I missing? That's your call to action. Which one am I missing? Comment it below. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, my friend. Now I want you to dive deep into yourself. I want you to start thinking, what are popular questions that I get? Take out your phone. Every time you feel like you're answering the same question over and over again. That is content. That is content. For me, in my neck of the woods, I can tell you, what are the HOA fees? What do they cover? Whenever I'm on the phone with a new buyer who's looking to come to our community, I have to go over HOA fees. They have to understand homeowner association fees. Okay? It is very rare that you're going to find anywhere in Naples that doesn't. We only have a couple of communities here that do not have HOAs. Okay, they do exist. So my content might be 3 top communities in Naples that don't have HOAs or have HOA fees that are under $5,000 a year. What do they cover? I could do a video talking about the different levels of HOA fees and what they cover and why some are more than others. What's the market like for Naples? Because how many times you're in the grocery store, somebody, so how's the market? Could you answer that question right now? Yes, you don't need a script. If you're a new construction junkie, I'm going to tell you that new construction is a huge SEO keyword search engine optimization on Google, right? People are constantly searching for new construction. Could you do a B-roll video that simply says new construction communities where you can buy a home under 500,000 or whatever the norm is in your neck of the woods? Yes, educate. This is educating them. You're giving them value. How much for a pool home? That's what they always, what's the difference? Like if I want a pool home, is it going to cost me this? What can I buy for under, right? So, you know, what can I get for under 200,000 in Naples? I'm going to tell you, not much. You know, and that may be the same in your neck of the woods. Answer the questions for them. Another prompt that you could do is Google interesting facts about Naples, Florida. Interesting facts about it. Fun facts about Naples, Florida. You can also do any of these prompts, and instead of the city or state, if you have neighborhoods, like we here in Southwest Florida have a lot of country club. We have like over 90 championship golf courses here. So we have a lot of country clubs. So we have a lot of neighborhoods. And I can do a search that says, you know, things to know about living in Lely Resort and see what comes up under that. Interesting facts, fun facts about, and then this is what comes up under that people. What is unique about Naples? What I love about what is unique about Naples, like you could put that up as just a question on your Facebook or your Instagram stories or LinkedIn or wherever you're playing. But I could answer this question from my own voice. When we talk about authenticity, when experts of the social media talk about authenticity, it is not about your latest trip to the doctor's office and putting it up there on social media or your latest fight with your boyfriend or whatever. That's not being authentic. That's actually opening the closet. That's a whole lot of skeletons you might not want to always share. Authenticity is being you. So when you say, like, again, I could tell you what's, you know what I think is truly unique about Naples? Our medians. What? Your street medians? Yeah. The street medians. They get overlooked, but they are the most amazing street medians I have ever seen. They make our town look amazing. We are right up next to Disney World in the way that our town looks with these medians. Because why? We have a crackjack team of landscapers who are constantly out there plucking, pruning, mulching. That wasn't what you're going to think I was going to say. You thought I was going to say something about our beaches or, you know, our downtown area, which, yeah, sure. I wanted to give you something unique. So start looking, go in and Google and say, what are people looking for? And of course, we got to bring in AI. I got to tell you, 2024 was the year that I really dove into getting my Chat GPT to know me. What do I mean by that? Well, I wanted Chat GPT to have my voice. I pay for the extra every month. I think it's like $20 to have a upgraded level of chat. And Chat and I know each other quite well at this point, because when we go in and I will write something out and I will say, this is my style, this is my voice, my tone. Remember it for when we write something the next time, because I want it to be in my voice. But if you don't provide Chat with your own voice, it's only going to give you back the computerized answers. So you can go into Let's Ask Chat GPT. What are the top 5 questions people are searching the web for about Naples? What do you think it's going to tell me? What is the cost of living in Naples? Is that real estate related? Heck yeah. Could you do YouTube content around this entire topic? Yep. And if they're searching it, it's going to get found on YouTube if you're using your SEO and your keywords correctly. What are the best neighborhoods? That's another YouTube video. It could be a reel. You could go live. Top things to do in Naples, Florida. Once a week, you give out your favorite top things to do in Naples. And it could be top things to do in Naples during the holiday season. What's the weather like? I told you people love to talk about the weather. All right, so now I'm going to dive into some examples. Now, if you want the free guide, I wrote out an entire guide with my assistant, Christine, of this course, this online webinar. Just scan that QR code and you will get it. It's a downloadable, I don't even know if that's a word, but it's a guide. And it's downloadable and it's going to take you through everything I talked about here today. So let's talk about examples. Examples are super important because I can tell you all day long that you need to be doing this, but you're overthinking what you need to do. So I'm going to start first with a real estate frequently asked question, straight out of my arsenal of everybody asks me this. Everybody asks me this, and I bet they ask you it too. Today is one of the most important days when you're buying a home, having a home inspection. Yes, you definitely need to pay for it, okay? This is an inspection that goes over the entirety of the home and tells you things like what's going on with the roof, what's happening with the AC, the water heater, the appliances. They get into the nitty-gritty of the home and check out everything. You can also have what's called a WDO inspection, wood destroying organisms inspection. This is pest control. You want to make sure you have that done. Another thing that you might want to have, especially here in Florida, is a mold inspection, an air quality inspection. Some people even do a radon test, which I say, hey, if you can do it, do it. Find out as much as you can about the home you're about to buy. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay, I am literally at a home inspection. The inspector is going up into the attic right then and there, right? I'm not going into the attic. I got a few minutes. I go outside in front of the house that it's at. I don't need to say, I'm at an inspection. I don't need to say, we're under escrow. We're pending. It's all implied. I'm doing my job. I'm out in the field. This is in the moment. I'm using my time constructively to create content while I'm sitting there. It's not high polished perfection. And in fact, in 2025, this kind of content is supposed to be doing better than the highly edited professional, straight out of the commercial kind of look. All right. Now, this next one is part of the content that I create on a regular basis for my viewers. I love Naples history. I love history. So I'm going to give you a snippet of how you could take Naples history, something people are searching for.
Some of the most expensive homes in the country are on this street. But what's interesting is it's named after a man who most of Naples has forgotten about. So not only was there a street named after him, there's a pass named after him, and at one point there was even a fish camp, very popular, although sometimes controversial. So who was it? Roger Gordon. It's the late 1800s, and a boater, an angler one might say, floats in to the Naples Bay. And he starts to hang out right.
Oop, I don't know why it keeps doing that. So you see, it's just something simple. I looked up some history. I love to talk about it. I get passionate about it. I'm not saying you need to create history content. If that's not your gig, it's not your gig. My friend Katie Day, not a huge fan. So that's okay. You find what works for you. If you have a passion for food, if you're the foodie, maybe that's the angle you take, right? That could be part of your brand. Maybe it's something else that you do that's unique. Find your voice. This next one, I'm not even in. This is what we call a B-roll video. B-roll I took years ago while I was out on a boat cruise. Took a fun fact. This video helped me on my page that's dedicated to Naples to secure more people looking for Naples content. Trending music can be helpful in these situations.
This ain't Texas, ain't no hold'em. Lay your cards down, 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 down. So park your Lexus and throw your keys up. Stick around.
I love that song. Probably drives some of you crazy. But you see, it was just a simple fun fact. You don't have to overthink this. I did this while I was laying in bed one night and I was like, oh, that'll be a fun little video. Went viral. But it went viral in the sense of what is important to my page, finding other people with an interest in Naples. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, some quick other ones that we can use, all right? Naples real estate, fun fact, real estate oriented, all right? I'm not gonna play the entire 90 seconds, it's a longer video, but I just want you to see how you could do this. You could go into your MLS, find out this information right now.
Today, we are on the hunt for the most expensive home for sale right now in the country. How much is it? 295 million.
We're on the shores here in Naples. We have to make our way up all the way to the end down there.
So maybe you're not into buying one of these high-end homes. You can rent one like this. How much for a month?
We can rent you that one for $100,000 a month.
How much is the current most expensive property sold in Collier County? $62 million.
We made it. It was a walk. It was a bit of a walk. You get for $295 million. There are 9 acres. You get 3 residential properties. So there's
More than what, 20 bedrooms?
20 bedrooms, 20 bathrooms.
Okay, so you see what I did. I went into the MLS. Well, didn't have to with this one. But I looked up, what is the most expensive home currently for sale? I gave the listing agent some props in the video. There's just a little like, this is listing provided by, and then I put it in the description. You can do the same thing. You can do the same thing. All right. Another great thing, I teach a lot of videos, a lot of classes on different types of videos. This is a fun one that's doing really well right now, the memes, okay? CapCut has a whole, you go in, just find the templates, very easy to use. You're just looking for ways to stop the scroll and start the conversation.
It's gotta be a dream.
That's it, my favorite movie. But don't overthink the content that gets the conversation started. Now I'm going to dive into another example, and I want you to understand that this is about using your info and your time wisely. We're real estate agents. Do we not relate to the rabbit? I'm late for a very important date. We're always running in like 900 different directions. So when you go out to do a listing appointment, you probably have sat down, I hope, if you're a good agent, and gone through everything you need to know about that property and the community that it's in, right? You have a whole plethora, a whole huge head full of knowledge. And then you're going to walk into the listing agreement. You're going to sit down at the kitchen table. You're going to say, hi, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. Let me tell you about your house. And you're going to go, and you're going to give them all this information. You're going to flip through, talk about this, do the CMA, right? You're going to say, here's the pros of living in the neighborhood. Here are some of the reasons why we're seeing people not wanting to live in this neighborhood. Here's what the most expensive home sold for. Here's the most least expensive. Here's why the most expensive went for it. This is why the least expensive went for it. You're going to go through and use all that information as you sit there and have a conversation. So I say to you, This is about repurposing your time and your info. You have this knowledge. Why wouldn't you use it to create content? Now, you're not going to talk about the individual specific property. You're going to use the information you gathered about the area.
This video is for the person who wants to live right next to Naples Beach. Have you ever heard of the community Seagate? It's one of the most best kept secrets of Naples. This small community, there's like 90 houses in the entire community right next to Naples Beach. The homes, many of them are right on a canal, a short boat ride out to the Gulf of Mexico. They also have a private beach membership. Now, you don't have to join if you don't want to. It's completely optional. You have your own access point to Naples Beach. But Pinky, what about homeowners association fees? I hear they can be really expensive. Guess what?
Answering
Not
your
Seagate.
question.
It's $150 a year. That's it. Hey, Pinky, how much does it cost to live in Seagate? That is a great question, and I'm glad you asked. And I'm happy to tell you that I'm a real estate agent.
disclosing.
I have access to all of
There's
that
my real
information.
estate
How many
agent
homes are for
information.
sale in Seagate right now? 5. Most expensive is a brand new build. Yep, they are taking down some of the older homes and putting up new ones.
Educating
That
them
one
about the
is
community.
$8.35 million. The least expensive right now is $3.95 million. Most recent sale happened in February, and that property went for $3.985 million. That's the average price that they're going for in the community, right around $4 million. Would you like to know more about Seagate? Maybe get a list of those homes for sale? I'd be more than happy to send it to you.
Call
All you
to
have to do is
action.
comment below.
Okay, I took the information from a CMA. I got B-roll of the community while I was there. B-roll is supplementary video. So I went down the streets, just got some quick video of the properties in the area so that I could talk about it. Then I took the information that I had gathered for the CMA and talked about it in the video, showed off the amenities of the community. Repurpose your knowledge and your time, my friends. Now, this may seem like Tweedledee and Tweedledum here, but don't forget that when people are commenting on your content, that this is your opportunity to do conversations with them. Have more than just a thumbs up or the happy face or, a little emoji. If you can get into it and have a conversation, like, oh my gosh, Cindy, how have you been? How is life in Tennessee? Respond to the comments, okay? Maybe you don't want to do it in the public eye, right? Like you're afraid, like, well, if I start having a conversation with them, like, I don't know if I want everybody to see the I get you. So you're going to pop over to your direct messages. Direct messages are a gold mine, okay? Having those conversations in direct messages. Go over and say, hey, you know what? Thanks for commenting on my post today. I was just thinking about you the other day. How is the weather in Tennessee, or whatever your post was about? This is how we start having the conversations. There's also something very powerful you can do. Personalize the direct message. A lot of people do not realize that when you go into Facebook or Instagram, you have the opportunity to use the microphone in your message. That means it turns on and it's your voice, not voice to text, your actual voice. I use it all the time because, number one, I feel like sometimes when we communicate with people, our tone is not there. So I want them to hear my tone when I send them a message. And I want them to hear, like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad to hear from you. Like, how have you been? Oh my gosh, da 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 da. I want them to hear the excitement in my voice. Number two, I want them to know that it's not a bot. I want them to know that it's actually me. It's not my assistant. I want to be personal with them. Try it today. Instead of typing back a response, voice message them. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're human. The whole point of this entire conversation presentation today is to stop coming from a sales standpoint. We need to bring the social back to social media. You've got to be more social. Think about going to those dinner parties and how you would converse. Take that same idea into your social media world. I hope you enjoyed this class today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at Pinky Knows Naples on Instagram. And I am always happy to message you and give you my voice. I will voice message you back probably. So let me know if you need anything, and I will see you next time.